When Donald Trump gave that disastrous speech in Atlanta, Georgia over the weekend, guess who was not there? If you guessed Melania, you would be correct, but pretty easy guess because she's basically showed up at zero campaign events. She showed up at the last day of the Republican National Convention and refused to even kiss him. She turned her face away. But despite corporate media trying to gaslight us and say Melania is going to show up at all of these events, she wants to make her mark on history, the corporate media said. She is MIA, but what Donald Trump was doing in Atlanta, Georgia during the speech was being very, very creepy. And he also is very creepy in Harrisburg. Frankly, he's creepy all the time. But let me just focus on some of the things that he said while Melania was MIA. So one of these speakers who spoke in the Atlanta disastrous event before Donald Trump was a lady by the name of Michaela Montgomery. That name may sound familiar for those who watch the MeidasTouch network because she was the lady in Chick-fil-A who gave Donald Trump the hug. We exposed the stunt. She is a MAGA operative who goes from event to event to event, and Donald Trump uses that to try to act like he has support in the black community, and he goes, look, I got a hug from a black lady, therefore, media, you should publish that I have support. And the media often did it, and we would call it out. And we would say, she's a MAGA operative. She runs these right-wing organizations, and she worked for Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. Can we be fact-based? So during the Atlanta, Georgia speech, though, after Michaela Montgomery spoke, Donald Trump praised her. Donald Trump then said, with Michaela Montgomery on the stage, he said, regarding Michaela Montgomery, he said, Michaela gave me a kiss. I said, I think I'm never going back home to the First Lady because Michaela Montgomery kissed me. I want to play this moment for you. Here, play the clip.
It's President Trump. You saved my college. And I said, how the hell do you know that? She said, this one is so smart, so sharp. She grabbed me. She gave me a kiss. I said, I think I'm never going back home to the First Lady.
You were supposed to keep that quiet.
See, now, for the average politician, that's death. For me, I don't care.
You know, I know when I say these things before I go play the clip, you may be thinking, no way he actually said that. Yes, well, but now you know, I wouldn't say play the clip if he didn't really say that. But sometimes the things he says so creepy and so odd. Let me show you, though, what Michaela Montgomery said in her speech before Donald Trump spoke and talked about them kissing each other. Here was Michaela Montgomery's portion before Donald Trump spoke, just so you can see what she said. Play the clip.
A few days ago, President Trump said he didn't know Vice President Harris was a black woman. I'm trying to figure out what all the outrage is about because she's only black when it's time to get elected. Did I lie? The same black people who are mad at Trump for being confused about her race, ethnicity, nationality, whatever, are seemingly forgetting that while you're touting her as a savior for black people, she identifies as an Asian woman. She chose her side and it wasn't ours.
And then Donald Trump posted the following about Michaela Montgomery. He said, great job by Michaela Montgomery. What a speech. A special person with a fantastic future. It should be noted as well that Donald Trump was then spotted on his airplane paid for by the Political Action Committee, Mr. and Mrs. Macedonia donors who are funding Donald Trump's plane travels and lavish lifestyle. The lady there is not Melania on the airplane accompanying Donald Trump to and from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm not sure if that's Alina Habba or Margot Martin, but it's certainly not Melania because we have photos of what Melania was doing in New York. There she is right there. Melania was in New York shopping and just hanging out while Donald Trump was in Atlanta, Georgia. She was definitely not accompanying Donald Trump. What she's been doing in New York as Donald Trump's been giving these horrific and awful speeches, she's been hanging out with her personal stylist, Hervé Pierre Braillard. You see him right there together. He gets paid $18,000 a month from Mr. and Mrs. Macedonia. The various election political groups for MAGA fund Melania's lifestyle. Yes, the wife of a purported billionaire, is having her personal stylist paid for, not with her own money or her husband's money, but with Mr. and Mrs. Macedonia paying $18,000 a month just for her stylists. And it's previously been reported as well that Melania had quietly renegotiated her prenup and post-nuptial agreement with Donald ahead of the most recent run. Donald Trump, on the other hand, though, keeps making bizarre posts like this one right here. Sports Illustrated model rocks the MAGA purse. That's what Donald Trump's posting. Just posting these photos of other women. But look, you know, Melania is probably trying to avoid what happened to Donald Trump's first wife, Ivana. Here is the latest on, we know Ivana passed away. She fell downstairs. And she's now buried in the back lot of Donald Trump's Bedminster golf course. Here's how Daily Mail put it. Exclusive. Ivana Trump's cordoned-off grave is barely visible in a completely overgrown area of Trump's 506-acre Bedminster, New Jersey golf course. How ghoulish can you be? Here's just the fact check by Snopes, just so you know this is true. Nothing's hard to believe when it comes to Donald Trump, but how ghoulish, how disgusting. By the way, as the Republican Voters Against Trump organization, they've been making these posts just to show you, with the various days left into the election, different slices of Trump's despicable behavior. The one they posted a few days back with 96 days left before the election was the following. Donald Trump describing his relationship with his then wife, Ivana Trump, in 1988. Play the clip.
I'll tell you truthfully, we don't have tremendous fights. We should have world record-setting fights, but we really don't. We get along very well, and there's not a lot of disagreement because ultimately Ivana does exactly as I tell her to do.
See, wait a minute.
Male chauvinist.
Right, men? Is that right? Huh?
I've been trying to lead a heart-healthy lifestyle, but finding the energy to keep up with healthy changes like getting my steps in, it's been an uphill battle. We often think living a more heart-healthy life means making big, unsustainable changes. Well, with SuperBeets Heart Chews, you can get daily blood pressure support in just 2 tasty chews a day. And they even promote heart-healthy energy without the stimulants. Paired with a healthy lifestyle, the antioxidants in SuperBeets are clinically shown to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. My energy levels are higher than ever. Now, without typical dips from coffee and energy drinks, it's fantastic to support my blood pressure and still have the energy for more physical activity. It's a win-win. Double your potential with SuperBeets Heart Chews. Get a free 30-day supply of SuperBeets Heart Chews on all bundles and 15% off your first order by going to getsuperbeets.com and use code MIDAS. That's getsuperbeets.com, code MIDAS.
By the way, Donald Trump's creepy statements, they've been happening at all the various recent speeches. For example, the speech before Atlanta, Georgia, took place in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which was relatively close to Butler, Pennsylvania, where the shooting took place. Corey Compatore is the firefighter who was shot and killed at the Butler, Pennsylvania event. Corey Compatore's widow received a call immediately from President Biden after her husband was shot and killed. She refused to take the call from President Biden because her husband was full MAGA, and she said that her husband would not have wanted her to take the call from President Biden. Donald Trump didn't call for a few days after, until Trump tried to kind of coordinate this like weird performative thing at the Republican National Convention. Donald Trump spent the days when he didn't call Corey Compatore's wife rolling out new sneakers that he was selling. Trump sold the Assassination Edition Fight high tops, 5,000 of them for $299 each, and he signed like 10 of them. And then in addition, Donald Trump was calling RFK Jr. instead of calling Corey Compatore's wife. But in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Donald Trump said something really eerie and really creepy and really ghoulish. Judge for yourself. He said when he spoke to Corey Compatore's wife, she said that she would rather be with her husband right now, and she was sad that he had passed, and she misses him and wants to be with him. Donald Trump said in his speech in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, I know a lot of wives that would not say that. I'm sorry, they would not say that. Play the clip.
But you know what? Corey's wife said, I'd rather have my husband. Isn't that good? I know a lot of wives that would not say that. I'm sorry. They would not say that.
When Donald Trump does bring up Melania in his various speeches, let me show you some of the context in which he brings up Melania. In a recent speech that Donald Trump gave in Iowa, he spoke in an Iowa high school in front of high school students and others in Iowa. They rented out a high school gym. Donald Trump said that he is not into golden showers from hookers and that Melania knows that. That was part of Donald Trump's speech. Let's play the clip.
He was with 4 hookers. You think that was good that night to go up and tell my wife, it's not true, darling. I love you very much. It's not true. Actually, that one she didn't believe because she said he's a germaphobe. He's not into that, you know? He's not into golden showers, as they say they call them. He's not. I don't like that idea. No, I didn't. I thought that would be a big problem. I was going to have a rough night, but that one she was very good on. She said, no.
Another line that Donald Trump likes to say is that he has told Melania that he did not have sex with Stormy Daniels because he says Stormy Daniels has a horse face, and horse face, no affair, horse face, no affair, and Melania knows that. Here, play this clip.
You know, Marjorie is here, Truth to Vote, and they found at least 5 million instances on tape, and the courts didn't want to even look at it. The District Attorney of New York, under the auspices and direction of the Department of Injustice in Washington, D.C., was investigating me for something that is not a crime, not a misdemeanor, not an affair. I never liked horseface. It's just not. It's terrible for me. That wouldn't be the one. There is no one. We have a great First Lady.
I would be remiss if I didn't discuss Melania's background briefly every time I do a video on Melania being MIA. There's really no evidence that Melania speaks 7 languages or whatever she claims, nor is she a supermodel. She was recruited by a modeling agency in New York run by a guy named Paolo Zampoli, who at the time recruited young Eastern European women, brought them to the United States. He would host parties at a place called the Kit Kat Club. They would be introduced to wealthy Manhattan businessmen, and the rest would be history. She got an Einstein visa. Very mysteriously, her process got expedited very curiously, and the rest is history. The Kit Kat Club, modeling agencies, that's what happened. Donald Trump, back in 2016, claimed he was going to hold a press conference to prove that Melania followed all of the rules and regulations here. That never happened, but Trump lies and the media lets him get away with it. This is back in 2016. Play the clip.
Maybe she came in illegally, maybe. Let me tell you one thing. She has got it so documented, so she's going to have a little news conference over the next couple of weeks. That's good. That's good. I love it. I love it. They said, Melania Trump may have come into our country illegally, and how would that be for Donald Trump to be talking? Here's the only problem. She came in totally legally. I mean, you know, so that's what they'll say. All right, but you'll see it in a little while. I said to her, no, let it simmer for a little while. Let them go wild. Let it simmer.
And here was Melania's really most recent event where she was out and about. This was a speech from 8 months ago where she spoke at the Library of Congress. No one really wanted to hear from her. She spoke to a group of immigrants who were just becoming citizens, and she was bragging about how her process was slow to get her citizenship until lawyers stepped in and expedited the process for her. Here, listen to her. Here, play this clip.
There are nuances of understanding the United States immigration laws and the complex legal language contained therein. I was very devoted, but I certainly was not an attorney. And eventually, it proved critical for me to retain counsel. I was fortunate to do so, as ultimately my journey was streamlined and brought me over the finish line as a naturalized citizen. While challenges were numerous, there were rewards were well worth effort.
One thing I'll mention as well is Donald Trump's been trying to lure Melania to show up at various events. One of the ways he tries to do that is by promising her awards, and then he has people give her fake awards, like the fake award for helping the children. Melania doesn't show up, then Donald Trump accepts the award on her behalf. The whole thing is very strange. I'll let you watch it for yourself. Play the clip.
On board. We want to take this opportunity. I know First Lady couldn't get here, but we want to give Melania Trump the Child Advocacy Award because she did so much for children when she was First Lady. So, sir, this is for Melania's certificate. Please make your way to the...
So, folks, there you have it. More Melania MIA, and I also think it shows just how, in my view, unhinged this whole entire MAGA Trump thing is. But you judge for yourself. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. It's free to subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers, shall we? Thanks so much.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.